Hey everybody, how we doing tonight? So this is a last minute impromptu thing. So I only got a couple people here. Looks like I got Jay, Sadmac, Mike, and Steve. So hey everybody, how we doing? Welcome to the shack. Come here. Well, fine. How with you? So, how's everyone doing on this wonderful Sunday evening? Hey, Retro Techie. So, as some of you may notice, my background's a little different. Rearranged some things in my living room. I actually have some like breathing space behind me now. So, changed things around a little bit. So, it's getting a little cramped in here. Stuff was sitting everywhere. Well, stuff's still sitting everywhere. I still got crap all over the place. I got an iMac, part of an iMac on the floor. The rest of it's on the chair. I got Apple II drives on the chair. I haven't watched TV in here in months. So, and this camera looks like crap. That's a little better. So I got some laptops. I forgot they were in my car. They've been in my car for, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks now. Well, probably not that long. Probably 2 weeks now. Hey, Trina. So, they're PCs. They're not Macs, unfortunately. So, but I know none of them, they all need stuff to make them work. So, I figured what the hell. If I'm going to fart around with them, I might as well do them on a stream since, you know, got nothing better to do, right? So I got two Dell Latitudes. These are older. These have Windows XP stickers on them, so they're pretty old. They're Centrino Duos, which means they're pretty low end. They're in good shape though. At least this one is. This one here, believe it or not, actually still has a little bit of a light charge in the battery. Whoops. Memory cover. This one actually has an extended life battery on it too, so this battery might actually be okay. So, memory's missing out of the bottom of this one. Oh my gosh, they still have modems. That tells you how old they are. Let's see what this one looks like. This one's filthy. It's got a lot of dust on it, but it's not too horrible. It's pretty dusty. It's got a nice layer of dust. D620s actually, Trina. I think they're both D620s. No, this one's a D630. So, this one here looks practically brand new, to be honest with you. There's very little wear on it. I might try to take two of them, put one together. Now this one has a hard drive in it. I'm going to switch cameras. That camera's horrible. So this one has a hard drive in it. This one does not. It's missing the caddy for the hard drive. So this one's missing a RAM DIMM. So I may not even worry about this one too much because this is actually a better one. And then I also got this HP here. It's a what is it? A 2000, an HP 2000, and it's in okay shape. It's missing one key. This is a AMD dual core E300, I think. So this is a newer model. This is widescreen. This has got HDMI out and the whole 9 yards. There's no hard drive and no memory in this one either. Of course, I have both in abundance. So yeah, both memory sticks are missing. The hard drive's missing out of this one here. So might just throw some stuff in there. Now this one here was waiting for Windows 8, so this is a much newer model. I think this is about 10 years old now. So I mean, these things aren't really worth much. So just something to fart around with. Yeah, that's kind of what they remind me of. They kind of feel like, it feels like a piece of crap, Trina. These things here are pretty substantial, and these have some heft to them. So let me start with. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to worry about this one here, because this one here is kind of rough. Oh, this one has a SIM card slot on it. No shit. So this one here must have a cellular modem in it. I wonder if this one does. Yeah, this one has a SIM card slot too. Oh, that's interesting. Weird. I've never seen a Latitude with a SIM card holder. Yeah. Yeah, these Inspirons were actually half decent. I mean, they weren't the best. You know, but they weren't horrible. I have tons of spare parts for these machines because I used to repair a lot of them back in the day. And I still have spare parts. I still have DVD. These all have DVD-ROM drives and whatnot. So, I don't know. Let's see if we can power it. I have one AC adapter here. It's for a Dell, so. And the plug fits that HP as well, so I'm sure it'll probably power that HP. It still runs Windows 10 badly. I have never had good experience with HP laptops. I've had a couple of them over the years, and I've never had any luck with them. They've always been junk. So, well, I got a little bit of life here. Time and day not set. Well, this one got something here. Let's see what we got. Core 2 Duo at 2 gigahertz. Not too horrible. Looks like it's got a meg and a half of or a gig and a half of memory. Wow. Eek. Have to upgrade that. 80 gig hard drive, CDRW combo, Intel Crestline graphics. Oh, so apparently you could get a battery for the module bay here on the side where the DVD-ROM is drive. Hey, Greg. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure the CMOS battery on this is bad. Battery health says it's good, so I don't know if that really means anything. Oh, let's see here. Oh. 1394, so it's got FireWire. Has FireWire? Oh, it sure does. got a mini FireWire port on it. Looks like it has Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, cellular. Wow, this thing's actually pretty decked out for an old laptop like this. It's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, Simon's a little disappointed. He wanted to get up on my lap earlier and he couldn't. I don't know, let's see if this thing will boot. Probably not, but you never know. Yeah, I know, it's weird when PCs have FireWire ports. It's not something you expect to see too much. I guess they were there mostly for video, like video capturing and stuff like that. That seems to be about the only time they were really used on PCs. I remember back in the day, I used to have a I used to have a FireWire USB card in my PC, and I never used the FireWire ports once. Oh crap! It's loading Windows 7. Wow, this is going to be an exercise in patience. Hey, Thomas. Yeah. Yeah, this thing is... it's not horrible. I mean, I've definitely had worse. Yeah, no, Windows 7, I was kind of surprised myself, to be honest with you. Oh. It's not too horrible, actually. I mean... for only having 1.5 gigs of RAM, it's actually not too bad. Might have to just upgrade. Oh, my buddy must have been using this. Two gigahertz Core 2 Duo with enough memory could probably run Windows 10 fairly okay. Dual core. That's what this is, Windows 7 Pro. I don't know, I might just leave it alone. I wonder if I can go better than 2 gigs, because I have, let's see here. Let's see what we got for memory. Let's see what we need. So one thing I do like about Dell is if you go to their support website, you can enter this service tag. And you can see exactly oops, I thought I typed in support, but I guess not. So you type in the service tag on the, if you're assuming you can still read it, B1PJ, B1PJ, GD1. Whoops. So the warranty expired 17th of August 2010. Not showing me too much else, though. Well, alrighty then. I think the max is 2 gigs. Well, let's pop the keyboard out here and take a look at the stick on the bottom here. There's a stick of RAM under the keyboard and there's a stick of RAM on the bottom. It's a stupid freaking design. It's been a while since I took one of these apart. Seeing as how most of these things were retired like a decade ago. I always hated taking this piece off because you're always afraid you're going to bust it. It's a Latitude D630, Trina. Okay, so looking at it, looks like there's an aerial, spare aerial, and then there's 2 aerials here. So it looks like it's ready for a cellular modem, but it doesn't have one installed. Yep, there's the 512 megs. Oh yeah, I know. These things were not very great. I mean, they weren't horrible, but there was definitely way better options. Let me tell you. I gotta find my DDR2 in this disaster here. I think this is it. That's a 2. Oh, it's DDR3. There's DDR2. There's 1 gig. Probably the biggest I have. Well, it's only going to get 2 gigs of memory anyway, because I don't have anything bigger than 1 gig sticks. So it does have Wi-Fi in it. There's a stray aerial here, which might be for Bluetooth, but I don't know where that would go. It's weird. Processor socketed, so I could always upgrade it if I wanted to. Not that I really would want to. I mean... Oh, okay. I don't have that... Well, I don't have... I kind of figure it's probably 4, but I don't have anything bigger than 1 gig sticks of RAM anyway, Trina, so... It's going to get a... It's going to have 2 gigs in it. It's the best I can do. DDR2... My DDR2 selection is pretty minuscule, honestly. Yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. I wonder if... I'm curious now, since you said that. Let's see what this... Before we finish that, I don't know, let's see what's in it. I know the bottom sim's missing, so... Let's see, this thing here has definitely seen a lot more use. See, when people strip these machines down, they only think that there's 1 stick of RAM in them. Yep. So, that's a 1 gig. Modem. So it looks like there's a spot here for wireless WAN, which is a cellular modem. And then there's this extra aerial in here. It's got to be for Bluetooth, but I don't understand where the Bluetooth will go unless it's all part of this Wi-Fi card. Because there's no other expansion slot in here. Tis strange. Yeah, I very rarely run across anything big in the DDR2. DDR2 memory just doesn't seem to have been around long. I mean, DDR3 ran forever. DDR ran forever. And then it's like DDR2 came and went in like no time, it seems. And it's like... So, even my selection of desktop DDR2 is pretty minuscule. I got tons of DDR. Well, I don't have tons, but I have a fair amount of DDR, and then I have a real good amount of DDR3. But DDR2, I just don't run across it, you know? I'll keep this thing around for parts. Never know. Put it on the shelf. fiddly. Yes, the Jay, it's a PC stream. Alright, Thomas, thanks for stopping in for a little while. So, we can stick this in here. I got this little memory organizer at the swap meet. I got a whole bunch of memory in it, mostly DDR3. These 4 gig sticks of DDR3. Looks like they were mostly pulled from Apple machines, probably from recycling. All right. This has video out, right? Yeah. Let me try something once. I don't have a scaler hooked up right now, so I can't show it on the screen, but... Entering power save. Alrighty. Yeah, I kind of float all over the place. Jay's just saying that to be an ass. Just because that's the way he is. Well, it is recognizing 2 gigs of memory, so that's better. Battery's up to 22%. Yeah, Jay's just a jerk. By the way, everybody wished Jay a happy birthday. Yesterday was his 45th birthday. Jay really does not like PCs. I don't really either. I just, you know, I got these 3 laptops and $100 for an AMD RX 570 I had. That's how I ended up getting these. I had an old RX 570 4 gig card that Macs don't like. I tried it in many Macs. It didn't want to work, and my buddy, he's a strict up PC guy, says, "Hey dude, I need a video card bad." So, well, I have an RX 570 here, so I can't use it on my Mac. Said, I'll sell that to you. So, well, what do you want? I don't know, make me an offer. He said $100 and 3 old laptops. I said, okay. So, and of course we're going to go through the Windows 7 activation curse here. Guess the Wi-Fi doesn't work in this one. Looks like he was playing with his Commodore stuff on here. I don't know. It didn't want to work. I tried several times on several different machines, and yeah, the 570 just didn't play nice at all. I have no idea why. It just wouldn't work. I mean, I have a 580. I have a 580 in my 5.1, so that's more than enough for me. Yeah, I run Mojave on all my machines. I have no willingness to go further than that at this point. Well, tell you what, let's pop this hard drive out here. I'm just curious. And because I don't really have anything better to do tonight. So this is a Hitachi 80 gig. So why don't we just be a jerk and just throw a 500 gig in the sucker? See what happens. I got a 2012 Mini. That's the machine I'm streaming off of right now. It's kind of a dog. Not a bad machine, it's just not the best. What the hell? What do we got to lose, right? And there's a USB port on this thing somewhere. Internal hard drive not found? Wonder if this hard drive's no good. Huh. Okay. Well, guess we'll have to try another one. Oh. I don't think it plugged in. I think that's why. Oh, yeah. I hate these stupid ass things. No, it's a SATA drive. There we go. I knew this drive did work. Hi, Shadow. Hi, Shadow. You're on TV. Say hi. Say hi, big boy. Say hi, Shadow. This is Shadow. He's a big baby. I heard the hard drive initialize that time. Yeah, I have, I have so many machines here I could install Linux on. I really should do that. I really should get up to speed on Linux and stuff. I'm so far behind in that. I mean, the closest thing I use to Unix is, well, AIX. I don't even use that here at home. Okay, there we go. 500 gig hard drive. Who is it? 6. Well, I might as well set the... Alright, so this one has, this one doesn't have cellular or Bluetooth, but it does have Wi-Fi, so I don't know why it wasn't working. Let's save and exit and see if we can boot from USB. Actually, Jay, I have to get a, I have to get a power brick. The power brick I had does not seem to be working. Okay, does not seem to be too happy. Why is it not showing me? There, USB storage device. Yeah, I definitely want to play around with it, Jay. It's definitely a lot more advanced than the little one I had. I thought there was something wrong with the small one I had, but apparently it just, apparently my power brick died and I didn't realize it. I need to find a new power brick. Oh, there it goes. Oh, I just get one. It's no big deal. I got some other stuff I gotta play with. No, it's not outputting. Oh, thanks, Trina. Yeah, I knew that. I knew about F12. That's actually pretty applicable to most computers. The good old F12 to bring up the boot menu. Yeah, I definitely want to try this this scaler out. Because like you said, Jay, I'm pretty certain it can do a lot more than it does than I'm sure Steve does on it. No, Steve, I did not. Yeah, this one doesn't. This one doesn't network. It has a serial port on the back. I'm pretty sure you could probably control it with the PC. So. Yeah, I got everything set up. I got the scaler right there, and you can see my small one right there, which I thought that went bad, but here it was just a power supply. And this is the one that I got this one from Steve. It's on loan. So this is my setup. I got the Mac, and then I have an airport here. This is my Ethernet switch for my desk, so I can hook stuff up to the internet easily, and my monitors. Look, Jay, you're on my stream. It's fuzzy. So I put the table up against the wall, so it doesn't take up as much space in my living room. It was getting a little cramped in here, even though it's just me here. Oh, yeah. That's the only downside. The thing is so big, I don't know where to put it. That's my problem. I might clean this bookshelf off over here and put it over here just to keep it out of the way. You can see my network tester there, and an iMac power supply. I'm still working on it here. Oh, a little bit at a time. I just kind of got this impromptu thing yesterday where I just kind of got tired of tripping over things. So, I'll show you one thing here. So, whoa, what did I do? Oh, knocked over stuff. So I got this from the flea market that Steve and I went to the other week. It's a Promise Pegasus R6 RAID. It had drives in it, but I took the drives out for another RAID because this one is Thunderbolt. And I only have one computer in the house that has Thunderbolt, and it's this one right here. And I wanted something to hook up to my machine. So I took this had 6 2 gig drives in it. So I took 4 of them out for a RAID I have on my Mac Pro, and 2 of the drives were bad. So I took the other 2 drives out, replaced the 2 bad ones on my desktop RAID. So I now have 6 extra gigs on there. So I'm going to get 6 drives for this eventually, and hook it up to the Mac Pro, and probably use it as like a media server or something of the like. This is an old model, but it's I read about it online, and it seems to be a really nice one though. It's real easy to pop the drives in and out. There's no drives in it right now. And it just uses regular SATA drives, so I don't need anything special in that regard. Just a bunch of SATA drives. It's got 2 fans in the back, and it even has a serial port on the back. I'm kind of interested to know what this is for exactly. I'm sure it's probably for some kind of console, but it'd be cool to hook something up to this and just see what comes out of it. So, but I got this for $20 with the drives. Of course, the guy I bought it from, he knows Steve, and he's like, I can't, I'm not guaranteeing any of the drives are any good, so I'm just selling the box, and the drives with it were a bonus. So, okay, fine with me, I didn't care. $20 is $20. That was pretty cheap. So, yeah, the company's still around, Trina. They make some pretty high-end stuff, actually. I got one, and Steve got one, and then, yeah, it could be. It's possible. I looked at the manual. I had the manual on my Mac Pro, and I didn't really see much about it. So, it does have a built-in, I don't know if you call it like an operating system or what. Yeah, I think they're up to. They have a newer model of this now that works over Thunderbolt 2 or Thunderbolt 2, I think. And they also have models that work on USB 3 and stuff like that. But this is the Thunderbolt one. This one's made pretty much specifically for Macs. So, because Thunderbolt's pretty much a Mac technology. So, it'd be I want to get this put together and play with it. And what I might end up doing is swapping out my Mac Mini here on my streaming desk for the Lenovo I started using. Because the Lenovo's a lot more powerful. It's lower in clock speed, but it's a 4-core i5, and this one's only a dual. And it's way faster than this machine is. Because if anybody took notice, we're only streaming at 720p because that's the max that I can push out of this poor old Mac Mini. And so I think what I might do is I might take the Mac Mini, put it in my entertainment center hooked up to the big screen TV, and then have the RAID hooked up to the Mini over there and use it for storing movies. I think what I might do is I might start taking all of my movies and start backing them up, and maybe start putting the physical disc of them or something. Hi, Prada. So, oh yeah, the Lenovo was a good machine. That was a really nice machine. Well, I mean, it still is. I still have it. It's hooked up to I have it hooked up to my big screen TV right now. There we go. We're in Windows. It boots up that fast. It's this thing's booted up in like 10 seconds. It's ridiculously fast how fast this thing is. So, and I have to say, it looks fucking gorgeous on this big ass television. But truthfully, I think the Mac would actually be better. So, especially since the Mac actually has native HDMI output. So, yeah, retro tech. Yes, Steve does have more. Steve does have more tech than a Best Buy. The only bad thing is the tech that Steve has is stuff that nobody else wants. This thing's actually not doing too bad installing Windows 10. I'm kind of impressed. Yeah. All right, let's see if I can actually. Let's see if it can Windows 10. I'm still working on that, Trina. Just have patience, dear. Please have some patience. I'll weasel the socks out of him somehow. Whoa. Prada, you daft idiot. Yeah, the iPod socks.
She's got this thing going for the iPod socks. Sad thing is, Trina, he probably doesn't even know where they are right now. Oh, Trina. I'm glad you have that much patience. Hey, Patrick. How you doing? We're doing an impromptu PC laptop stream. Because truthfully, I didn't have anything better to do. Don't worry, Trina. I'll be going over there again soon. He has a few things over there that I want, like an HP Omnibook. Now that's a laptop I wouldn't mind adding to my collection. Most of these laptops are just, yeah, meh. That one there is one I would love to have. Oh, I'm not doing too bad. Kind of a slow day. Not really much going on. I've had to deal with this fluffy jerk all day. I wanted to go do laundry, but it was raining all day. So I hate dragging my clean laundry through the rain. So let's take a vote. Who thinks his cat's miserable? Who thinks his cat hates his life? I'm just so abusive to this cat. You're floofy. No, I'm pretty sure I know where they are, Retro Techie. Steve actually doesn't have that many cubes, believe it or not. Steve only has, I think, 3. He's got 1 in a box and then 2 other ones. What? What? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. 3 of them. He has 1 in the box and then 2 other ones. And then he has 1 that he sold me. Well, if I remember right, I think Steve had 1, but the power supply was no good. And then he picked up 3 of them at that recycling center he went to last summer. I'm not even sure if we've even tried any of them out to see if any of them... I know the one I got from you sort of worked. I know it's painful Steve only has 3 cubes, but he has like 35 iMacs. Well, hey, if you have 1 cube, Patrick, that's pretty good. That's all I only have 1 cube. You only really need 1 cube. I mean, truthfully, they're not really the most useful computers in the world. So, you know, more than 1 of them really, you know, unless you want to make a display of them or something, you know. They're neat looking machines. Steve, you don't even know how many iMacs you have. You lost count when you hit 20. You just quit counting when you hit 20. He actually doesn't have any Retro Techie. It's 1 machine he doesn't have. He doesn't have a TAM. Yeah, it's amazing how fast the G4 towers kind of multiply there, Tom. I have several myself. I have a sawtooth with a power supply problem and a Quicksilver, and then I have a sawtooth server that I've actually been using for parts because it's just a G4, has a fancy network card in it. It's the only difference. And it came with OS 10.2 server, I think, or 10.1 server. I don't recall. But I've been using it for parts because it's an older machine, so... Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Steve. They're very neat looking, but they are probably one of the worst. They're one of the worst 603 machines I think they made. So, hey Bruce, how you doing? Oh, 60 Canadian for portable. That's not bad. That's pretty damn cheap, actually. Does it work, though? That's the problem. There you go, Tom. That's the way to do it. I'm going to say I'd pay 60 Canadian for a portable any day of the week. That's pretty cheap, even without a hard drive. There's all kinds of options for putting hard drives in them now that the lack of a hard drive isn't a big deal anymore. Oh, that sucks, Steve. I thought all your SE30s were up and running pretty good. Hopefully in the near future I'll have a SE30 of my own to play with. Alright, Tina, have a good night, dear. Thanks for stopping. Oh. Holy crap, I think we might actually be getting somewhere after a half an hour. $300 isn't too horrible. A little on the high side, at least in my opinion. Oof. Wow, this is painful. Yeah, I know. I'm about ready to shut it down and go to the next machine. It was just one of those, I wonder if I could do it things, you know? I'll plug it back in and let it do its thing a little later here. Let's look at this last piece of junk I got here. See if this thing's worth anything. So this one here takes DDR3. I wonder if I can use one of these fours. Hey, it's doing something. So it actually doesn't mind those 4 gears. Well, let's shove 2 of those in. And surprisingly, the battery actually seems to work. It actually has a charge. Alright, let's see if we can shove some kind of piece of crap hard drive in this. So, what's on top? Oh, that's an IE. What's that? That's a SATA drive. 750. And there's no mount in here, so we're gonna have to make one. Put a piece of VHB on. I love double-sided tape. This is the best stuff ever made. Warning, don't do this at home. At least not to anything you care about. You know, the one thing I do like about PC laptops is they're actually made to be taken apart and worked on. Whoops. My camera just face planted. I mean, it's a funny thing. You know, I took a, I have a Toshiba Satellite PC laptop. And it's a nice machine. It's probably 8 or 9 years old now. I mean, I bought it. I paid a lot of money for it. As a matter of fact, I think the hard drive I just stuck in this is the one that was in it. 750 gig. Yeah, it came with 8 gigs of DDR3 RAM. Max is at 16. Never had a reason to upgrade it. Had the 750 gig hard drive. Came with Windows 8.1, but I had Windows 10 on now. It has a quad-core AMD A10 in it, which is about the equivalent of like a lower-end i7, maybe a higher-end i5. And it's got a Radeon, I think 6770 graphics, and it's a pretty impressive machine for a PC. It's actually pretty perky, especially now that I have an SSD in it. And I got this wild hair up my butt a couple weeks ago. It's like, you know what? Why don't I repaste the heatsink on this thing and just be done with it. Hell, it took me like 10 minutes to do it. It was so freaking easy to get the back off. The heatsink was right there. There was no you didn't have to take the logic board out or nothing. It was really nice. I mean, I'm not going to like start using PCs full time or anything, but they are a lot easier to work on than Macs. Oh, freaking hate duct tape. Hey, Dana. How do you like the IPS screen on your ThinkPad? I bet that's pretty nice. Yeah, That's what I've heard. I've heard those IPS screens are pretty good with, being much brighter. I've seen a lot of people using these on portable game devices like the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Colors and stuff, and the results are just astounding. Yeah, Prada's been hanging out a lot here. Yeah. Yeah, I have a ThinkPad X61, which is really nice. I have Windows 10 on it and an SSD, a 250 gig SSD in it, and it's a dock and the whole 9 yards. It's one of the smaller ThinkPads. And it's a really nice machine for a PC, but the screen is not the best. And it's not the actual screen; it's just the way they are. Because it's an older model, it's actually still a square screen. It's not even widescreen, so it's kind of funky. But yeah, if I used it more, I would consider doing an IPS like that in something. Yeah. Wild Prada appears a lot, Dana. Let me tell you. Matter of fact, it's back. Hi. What do you want? What do you want? You're a dork. Yep, you're a dork. You're a dork. Can I just have one live stream where I don't have you bothering me? Just one? Maybe? No? Not gonna happen, huh? Oh, come here, you floofy jerk. He's such a miserable cat. You know that? He is such a rough life. He hates me so much. He's a sweetheart. He really is. He is the sweetest cat in the world. Yes, Windows 10. Mainly because that's what I have. I have that on a USB stick. Yep, that's what it is. Mac is Windows 10. And we're going to watch Prada do biscuits. Well, Dana, if you drive over to Pennsylvania, you can have this one. Nah, I wouldn't give you up. You're not going nowhere. Don't worry. They are great cats. They really are. This one's not even a full... I don't even think this one's a full-blown Maine Coon. Because he's not like a real... He's not a big cat. He's actually pretty small for being a male. But, other than that, he's got all the other traits. He's very sweet. He's very loving. He doesn't talk a lot, but when he does, he doesn't shut up. My ex-fiance tried to, she tried to get him. She's like, I want Prada. I said, you ain't getting him. He's mine. I said, this is like one of the few things that kept me from doing some really bad stuff after she left. You know. He curls up and sleeps with me every night. He's up my butt 24 hours a day. I mean, I get very, very little respite from this cat. Oh, you're getting heavy. Usually when I'm sitting over at my computer desk, he's laying on my lap, sleeping, getting loved. If I go in the bedroom, lay down and watch TV, he's got to be curled up right next to me or laying on me. He's a very sweet animal. He's very floofy too. I mean, he's very, very floofy. Yes, you are. You're very floofy. He's very soft too. I wish I could convey how soft this cat is. He's just so, his fur is just so soft. Well, this is definitely going a lot faster on this machine than it did on the last one. We're at 65% already. Fluffy. Yeah, Dana, he does. He loves everybody, though. Ask Steve. When Steve came over, the last time Steve came over, he had Simon and Prada up his butt the whole time he was here. Prada's not picky. He'll take anybody with hands. He's like, ooh, you can love me. I said, I'll take it. Huh. Yeah, you love everybody. You love everybody. They're the only two social cats I have. The rest of my cats hide. Whenever somebody comes in the house, it doesn't matter who it is. They just hide. Yeah, I'm installing one of a spinner. I don't have any spare SSDs at the moment. I don't even know what I want to do with these machines yet, so I typically reserve the SSDs for machines that deserve them, I guess you could say. I mean, anything I use on a regular basis has an SSD in it. With the exception of my really old machines that use parallel ATA drives. Oh, what updates do we have? God, I haven't powered this computer on it so long. Oh, hi Shadow. Bye Shadow. See what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I have an SSD. I have one in my Toshiba. I have one in both of my MacBook Pros, my 17-inch and my 13-inch. Of course, I have it in my Mac Pro. This Mini I'm using has one. Oh, it wants me to upgrade to Catalina. Yeah, not happening. This computer's slow enough. My ThinkPad. My one ThinkPad has one. The good one I have has a SSD in it. I think that's about it. Most of the machines that my iMac G5 has an SSD in it. So, well. See, Sad Mac, the thing is one of the reasons I moved this table is because they kept knocking things off of it because there was no wall around it. So that was one reason for moving the table, because right there's a window. And Shadow and Prada love being in the window. Now I actually have it open for once.
which is pretty unusual for me to do. I don't typically open it. So that was one of the reasons I moved this tables, because I wanted to make it a little easier for them to get in and out of the window. Because they love it up there. So, plus it's been so nice out lately. Now it's probably only in the 50s right now, probably in the low 50s, but it's keeping my apartment cool, because it gets kind of warm in here, so I don't have to run the air conditioning. Because the only bad thing to all this is the air conditioner's right there, and that thing is ridiculously loud. So, yeah, that's one downside. But I have a lot more room to breathe in here, so I'm not tripping over things like I used to. But this way I don't have to worry about the cats knocking stuff on the floor constantly, and then me having to try to find it and everything else, because, yes, I am going to fix it eventually. I'm still looking for a board. I mean, I found a board. I just don't have the extra $300 to spend on a logic board for right now. I'm still looking for alternatives. But yes, it's still on my radar to finish that. And then I also have the Snow iMac I need to finish too. Which the last time I went over to Steve's house, I wanted to get an iMac off of him, but we kind of have to dig for one, so that's why I didn't do it the last time I was over there. But hopefully the next time Steve comes over here, we can go retrieve all of my old stuff from my ex-wife's house that's been sitting there for 8 years now, and get my SC30 back before too much damage is done to it. And my Mac Plus. Those are the only two old Macs I still had left out of the humongous collection I had at one point in time, because those were the only two machines I really cared about. Yes, Steve, they're your iMacs. Yeah, $300, just $260 for a 20-inch iMac logic board. I thought that was a little ridiculous. I've been looking in terms of finding a logic board for the 20-inch. I've been actively looking. I do have active searches on eBay and stuff, and get results on a fairly regular basis, but nothing in the 20-inch. They're kind of rare from what I understand. I don't know if I'd say rare, but they're more uncommon, I guess. Because I think they were only made for a year, maybe even less. So that's probably one of the reasons I'm having issues finding a 20-inch logic board. Oh, Steve, you can part with one for crying. Hell, I gave you 3 of them when I moved. I think you owe me one back. I paid $100 for this one. For this, I paid $100 for the 20-inch iMac. And from what Greg Hrutkay told me, that was pretty much a bargain. I'd be pretty... He actually told me in no uncertain terms I'd be dumb if I didn't buy it. So I bought it, and then, of course, it got damaged by, four-legged felines. And it's kind of been a disaster ever since. So... I wonder if this will output.
Well, this one's definitely booking along a lot faster than the Dell. Yeah, that's what I need. I just need parts, Steve. I don't need like a whole machine. Well, I mean, it'd be nice, but... What I'd like to do is get a machine from Steve that's in pretty decent shape, physically, and rebuild my Ruby into a new frame, because my frame is destroyed, but my computer works perfectly. So, and this Snow I'm working on, the frame is perfect, but the computer doesn't work. I'm pretty sure I pretty much narrowed it down to the power supply being shot. So, oh, don't worry, Steve will help me out. Steve always helps me out. We always help each other out. Steve, you can't hide all the iMac G3s. You have too many of them. Your garage is full of them, for crying out loud. I hate to bust it to you, Steve. I could take an iMac G3 from you and you'd never even know it was missing. Yeah, but I thought one or two of the ones that I gave you were still okay. I don't know. We'll figure it out. That's a minor project. That computer doesn't get... I don't even use that computer. It just sits in my bedroom and just looks pretty. Because it's red. And I like it. I was truthfully never a big fan of the iMac G3. I'm still not really a big fan of the iMac G3. I mean, it's a good machine. Don't think I'm like knocking it or anything. It is a good machine for a G3. I was just never... I don't know. I was just never into the whole, oh, I got to collect all the colors craze and all that stuff, you know, and getting all goo-eyed over a colored computer, you know. But the Ruby one, for some reason, just kind of sticks out to me. Oh, I thought I gave you a couple slot loaders, too. I don't even remember what I gave you anymore. Oh. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, if Mac Effects makes a new inner case, that would be freaking awesome. That's probably like one of the biggest... truthfully, you know, for being a person that's not real crazy about the iMac G3, it's a very reliable and pretty robust machine for what it is. They work for... I mean, this Snow one I got here is one of the few that I've ran into that's had issues over the years. Even when I was still repairing Macs, the iMac G3 was one that I'd never really repaired too often. And, you know, they've always been pretty good. And even today, they're still pretty decent machines. I was just never a big fan of them. I like the G4 iMac better. Oh, is he working? Oh, that'd be cool. I might just have to wait for that then, Steve. That might just be the better way to go. Because I mean, the one that Ruby one I got off of you, oh, it is destroyed. I can't see how the CRT is actually staying where it is. There's that much plastic broken. Ooh, that's not a good sound. Not supposed to make frying sounds. Yeah, Mac Effects is making a new case for the iMac G3. It might be worth looking into, assuming it's not going to be $5,000. So, well, I appreciate you saving the Ruby for me, Steve, even though that's one that you don't have. I know it broke your heart to give me that. Well, sell me that. Oh, hey, John. Yeah, that seems to be the biggest problem in this in the iMac G3 seems to be in the display circuitry. And once again, that has to go back to the fact that they don't have a fan in them. You know, if they had a fan in them, I don't think we would have some of the problems that we do. Truth be told, I think if they had a fan in them, they'd probably be one of the most reliable iMacs ever made. Yeah, the Sage one is really cool. It's not, I mean, green isn't my thing, but it is, the Sage one is a very nice looking machine. I've never seen one. I've seen the lime ones. They're okay, you know. I'm not a green person. I'm a blue person, truthfully. But I just, there's just something about that ruby red iMac I just like. See, everybody would think, well, you like blue. Well, yeah, but believe it or not, I'm not real crazy about the blue iMacs. Although the indigo one, which technically isn't blue, it's more of a purple. But the indigo one's actually not bad looking. Now, I'd have to, you know, the eMacs are reliable as hell, too, for the most part. Because those have a fan in them. They have a really big fan in them. Which they have to for that processor. That processor burns pretty hot. They're not too bad. But yeah, eMacs do suffer from a lot of issues, especially with the analog circuitry in the analog board. I mean, I've had a couple of them. They've been decent machines. I wish I never would. I wish I would have kept it. I had a 1.25 gigahertz eMac USB 2 model, which was the last one they made with the ATI graphics, and that thing was a great machine. It was fast. It had great graphics. Kind of wish I still had it. Yeah, all the ones I got had stands too. Yeah, they are pretty sharp looking, John. I mean, eMacs are great. I like the eMac, but the problem is they're so freaking heavy, and they are so hard to move. I mean, they just weigh a bloody ton. Oh, I would too. They do have really nice CRTs, though. I have to admit, the CRTs in the eMacs are really, when they're tuned in right, they're really sharp. They have those Diamondtron CRTs. Oh my God, are they beautiful? But they are freaking heavy. Oh my God, this thing's taking for freaking ever. I know, Tom. That's, yeah. And I think they did that on purpose so they weren't that easily to steal. I can't tell you for sure, Mike, but you're probably right. It probably is. I know Steve would tell me those things are ridiculously heavy because he has one. I've only ever seen it once. Yeah, in truth, Savmac, you're right. Truthfully, the iMac, or not the iMac, the Mac Mini, pound for pound is just as powerful as an eMac. The only difference is the eMac you can actually upgrade to 2 gigs of RAM, whereas the iMac you can't. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a Molar Mac, but people want stupid money for them. And then, if you did find one, you'd almost have to pick it up locally because it would be cost prohibitive to ship it, assuming you could even ship it in one piece. I mean, they're just a ridiculous enough computer, and nowadays they're so rare that they're really worth collecting. But like I said, people want stupid money for them. Oh. Yeah, I've never actually picked one up, so I'm not exactly sure how heavy it is, but I'm sure they're pretty heavy. And I'd be willing to bet you any money that they probably put extra weight in that thing just to make it hard, because those were made for the education market. So it wouldn't surprise me if they put extra weight in them purposely to make them heavy so they were harder to steal. Because believe it or not, that was a thing. That's a thing in schools. I mean, probably isn't so much now, but I remember when I was in high school, they used to have all the smaller computers cabled down to the table so that they couldn't be taken. Of course, we didn't have too many small computers. We had a couple of SEs in the graphics lab, and those things were, nobody ever wanted those. And most of the other machines we had were all 486 PCs, except for one of the older computer labs still had 386s in it, and some early 486 PS2s. That's where I got my obsession with PS2s from, was from school. Yeah, I know. And a zip drive. Oh, I'm sure it's still a thing, but I mean, all in all, I mean, hell, when I was in junior high school, we were using Apple IIs. I mean, hell, you could have stolen one. You could have popped one of those in your backpack if you had enough will to do so. Hey, we're actually getting somewhere. Maybe.
Hi, Lydia.
If you guys are ever wondering why my chair looks like crap, now you see. That's a lot of iMacs for a Prius, Steve. Oh. Who's a pretty girl? Who's a pretty girl? Say, I'm a pretty girl.
I'm Cortana, and I'm here to help.
Oh God, Cortana's talking to me. Oh Lord.
A little sign in here, a touch of Wi-Fi there, and we'll have your PC ready for all you plan to do. Use your voice or the keyboard along the way, and if you'd like me to stay quiet, just select the little microphone icon towards the bottom of your screen.
Shut up.
Okay, enough intro. Let's dig. Your region is set to your keyboard is set to US.
Oh jeez. Yeah, it kind of tripped me out for a minute too. Don't
Now
feel
let's
bad.
get you connected to a network. That way you can get updates, apps, and cat videos as soon as possible.
That's funny. So you can get updates, apps, and cat videos as soon as possible.
Mission accomplished. You're all linked up. Now we have some important setup to do.
Yeah. My house is a cat video. Shadow. Handsome man.
Now let's see what's new for Windows.
Yeah, let's not. Because I'm sure otherwise this thing will take a month and a half to update.
Type your email address or phone number, then follow the instruction.
Yeah. Really?
Want to set up a pin?
You're bad.
Yeah, this is the cat's house. This ain't mine. Trust me. They rule. I'm just here.
These are the settings Microsoft recommends. Go ahead and review them, and select Accept when you're ready.
Well, this thing's definitely not a speed demon, I can tell you that.
Based on the activities you choose here.
I should make another channel. It's just Mike's Cat Shack and just have cat
Now
videos.
let's link your phone and PC using a Microsoft.
Are you comfy over there? Did you catch a
Want to
mouse?
automatically save files and photos to OneDrive for some added peace of mind?
Lydia's over there. Looks like she caught a mouse. If you can see her, she's got my mouse in her paws. Bronna, come on. Oh, I didn't realize this thing had an optical drive on it. Hey, cool. So if nothing else, you could use it to watch DVDs.
PC comes with a free 1-month trial of Microsoft 365 Family. Should we get it ready for you to use?
Okay, quit going through all the advertising. Just finish up. Good lord. I actually do have a couple Wi-Fi cameras in my house. I have one on top of the TV in my bedroom so I can see my bed.
Hey, look, that's me.
I've been known to peek in on them from time to time.
Almost done now. We just need to get a few more things polished up for you, and Windows will be all yours. Looking forward to helping out.
Yeah, I don't recommend it, Jay. Of course, this isn't exactly a good machine to judge PC quality. This is probably one of the crappiest machines to judge PC quality, to be honest with you. But yeah, setting up Mac OS is significantly easier and faster than setting up Windows. I mean, even on my MacBook, my 17-inch MacBook Pro, which is a Core 2 Duo, I mean, I would have had Mac OS set up probably 3 times by now. Probably can. Ooh, 753 from floppy disk. Wow. I've done 7.6 from floppy disks. Well, yeah, that's you got a good point, Sad Mac. Windows will do it, but doesn't necessarily mean it does it better. All right, Retro Techie, have a good night, bud. I don't get to work from home, unfortunately. I have to actually go to work. It's hard to work from home when you work in an auto parts store. I'm sure Steve's thinking about getting a purple iPhone 12J. Holy shit, we're at the desktop. Yeah, but I hate to say it, but a lot of Android devices don't have headphone jacks anymore either. "53 minutes, wow. I didn't time it, but I believe you, Jay. See, now, when I installed Windows 10 on my Lenovo, my Lenovo M83 Mini, it took 22 minutes. So this has an AMD E300 with at 1.3 gigahertz. So it's no wonder this thing is so slow. Apparently Windows activated on it too, which is nice. It seems to be having issues with the video card for some reason. I don't know why, it's just an AMD Radeon. Wow, this thing is slow. do you mean I'm not connected? Yeah. Okay, I'll have to take a look then. Alright, well, for some reason this isn't connecting to the internet. I don't know why I'm surprised. I think on that note, we're going to shut it down. I think I'm going to call it a night. Why the hell would anybody e-waste a PowerBook 500? Those are like one of the best PowerBooks to have, except for the fact that they disintegrate. One of these days I'll get a PowerBook 500 again. It's one of the machines on my list of things to get. Yeah. Yeah, the Wi-Fi in my house... I mean, the Wi-Fi in my house works fine. I don't know why it's... I only use the Wi-Fi for a couple things, so... I don't know why, I mean... The only thing... I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything... I don't think there's anything on Wi-Fi right now. I don't even think my iPhone's on Wi-Fi. Oh yeah, my iPhone's on Wi-Fi. Because everything else is cabled. Because one other thing I did is I upgraded my network recently. So that's my new switch right there. I went a little overkill. I ran out of room on the 8-port switch that I had. I had an 8-port Netgear ProSafe, and when we were at the swap meet a couple weeks ago, I was looking around and I seen a bunch of guys selling these rack mount switches for dirt cheap, and I found this Netgear 24-port switch for $10, and I was like, "Yep, I'm going to take that one home." So, yeah, needless to say, most of the stuff in my house is cabled. So, well, if the plastics were nice, hell, it's worth its weight in the plastics. The LCD is easy to replace. Typically, the LCDs are fine, and it's the plastics that disintegrate. I told you it was only... I mean, there were guys selling them there for $20 and $30. That was just the cheapest one I found. Steve. And it works beautiful. And I was able to turn the I was able to flip the ears where it would rack mount. I managed to flip them around so I could screw it to the wall. So it hangs on the wall exactly where my old one was. So I only have what 10 cables going into it right now. I'm never going to use all 24 ports on that thing. Oh my God, I'd have to like have an enterprise network for everything in my house to use that entire switch. So I like Netgear networking stuff, Thomas. I've always had really good luck with it. So, you know, the Switch I had before was a Netgear. I still have it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I mean, I still have it. Probably going to use it for the Vintage Computer Festival later this year. Sean and I were talking about setting up a retro. He wants to set up a retro setup with a bunch of different machines all networked together. And I told him I have the 8-port switch we can use for that, so I'm not going to go much more into it. So, say hi, Shadow. He's like, I hate you, human. So, yeah, I have a bunch of Netgear stuff. I actually have a couple Netgear Wi-Fi routers. I don't use them because my cable modem has Wi-Fi built in. But I got everything. Everything in the house is either Netgear or Apple. I mean, you see there's a flying saucer up there for my older laptops and stuff that only have 54G internet. So I have the flying saucer up there for those. Because the ones with 802.11b won't connect to my Comcast router. They don't allow 802.11b connections because of the encryption. So, and then I have an airport. I have an Airport Extreme N here on my desk. The Wi-Fi is turned off, but I just use it for an Ethernet, like a router. It's connected to the Mac Mini, and then there's 2 more network ports on the front that I can cable up a machine I got sitting here on the desk. Because otherwise I'd have to drag a cable all the way over there, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. So, But yeah, I've had Netgear stuff for years. I've never once had a single piece of it ever fail on me. So, and that Switch is probably 20 years old. I think it came out in like 2007. It's a really, really old managed Switch. It doesn't really do a lot in terms of management. Compared to like something newer, which is fine for me. I'm not running an enterprise network, so I really didn't even need the management. So it was cheap, and it's a Switch. So, but I think on that note, I am going to call it a night. I appreciate everybody for showing up. Jay, good night, Jay. Thomas, Tom Barber, Steve, of course, Sam Mack, Patrick, Will, of course, Trina, Bruce, if he's still here, which he probably isn't. He probably just ducked in for a minute. John Obst, and Retro Techie, I know he left. So, I want to thank everybody for showing up. And we'll do this again sometime, and hopefully next time I'll have some Macs to work on. So, everybody have a good night and enjoy the rest of your week.